Welcome back to Chasing the Target. Finally, the England batting we wanted to see, the England batting needed to see rather than deserved. But yeah, it's an overall England day in the Ashes day 2 4th test of Zach Crawley. Some phenomenal shots, amazing batting to be very honest. Moeen Ali, the number 3 spot, worked out for England. He did come out smashing a great 50. Then you had Joe Root, who didn't actually play a Joe Root kind of innings. He was again attacking, but managed to get an 84. England ending the day on 67 runs, looking like well into the driver's seat. Driver's seat क्या पूरी गाड़ी ही चुनने की दिख रही. Australia having a lot of problems towards the end. Mitchell Stark injuring himself while fielding as well. He had a problem with his shoulder already, and that's not a good sign for Australia. Pat Cummins again, the bowler that was most threatening throughout, didn't look like he was getting anything. They were bowling a lot of short deliveries, but probably not in the right regions. I have with me Mustafa. What do you think, man? England well on their way.
Ben Stokes is a genius, bro. He was questioned about Zach Crawley. I questioned him. Nasser Hussain questioned. Everyone questioned him. Why are you keeping Zach Crawley in the team? Why are you
Yeah.
keeping Zach Crawley in the team? For एक साल से उसका एवरेज मतलब 20 के नीचे था शायद. मगर ये जो इनिंग्स उन्हें आज खेला भाई, it makes everything worth it, and it just confirms that the belief that this team has in certain players is incredible. It's a process. It doesn't happen overnight. You have to be patient, and the innings
Yeah.
he played, bro, Fez, 180 what, and you're batting second.
Right.
Manchester, you're 2-1 down. The
Yeah.
freedom that he played with, it's not even just scoring 100. He was playing baseball 2.0, man. T20 cricket chal
Yeah.
raha tha. The way he accelerated from 50 onwards
100. Yeah.
was outstanding, man. He kept smashing it, and I think there was a time when Moeen Ali got out. Uske baad, bang, for him and Root just kept hitting. They didn't stop,
Mm.
and we all talk about. You can't do baseball against Australia. You can do baseball against Australia. This was peak baseball, man. At one stage, they were going at 7 runs and over. Root and
Yeah. Yeah.
Crawley, incredible batting, and the short ball tactic. They wrote it out. They learned from their mistakes, and they played that much better. And when it was in the zone, they completely smashed it. It was brilliant batting, exciting to watch, and this is why we kept saying, me and you kept saying that, bro, baseball is good. They should continue playing like this because it will work at some point. And right now, they're in a commanding position. The only problem is rain.
Mm.
Barish aane wali hai, and that's the only way England doesn't get a result out of this. Otherwise, they're looking like strong favorites in this game.
100%. I think 50 onward, and then after he reached his 100. I mean, before he reached his 100, he smacked back to back two first to Cummins, and it really showed like they're not scared of anything. 67 lead, 4 wickets gone. They still have Ben Stokes. They have Bairstow to come in. They have a lot of batting still, and that's what we've been talking about. I think the main thing is that they did a little bit put a price on their wicket as well this time. I was very happy, particularly with Moeen Ali and Joe Root's contribution that actually helps their batting strength. And now Ben Stokes can play with a freer mind. Bairstow can come and play with a freer mind. You're already in the lead. Now you can play actual baseball. You can play T20 cricket. Now you can get into a 200 commanding position just by smashing it like
Magar,
you
the
want to.
funny thing is they reached this point by playing that only. आप
Yeah,
देख लो, उन लोग सॉरी लंच तक जो खेले, उसके बाद लंच के
yeah,
साथ जो पिकअप कर रहे हैं उन लोग,
yeah,
पूरा दिन they were just smashing it. Moeen Ali came, he was hitting it. Joe Root came. Joe Root first ball or second ball he hit it for 4, right? And then he
yeah.
just kept going, and that's why they believe in this thing. Look, of course you will have downs, you will have issues with this kind of type of cricket, but it's put you in such a dominant position.
Mm,
300 runs banai Australia, which is a pretty decent score, right? But you made a mockery out of that, and you still have a lot of time to spare. And with the weather around, it's the perfect strategy, I feel. And like you said, Ben Stokes coming in, Bairstow, they don't have that pressure of building an innings. They can play with much more freedom. They can play more shots if required. And
yeah,
and the way Harry Brook played today, it was very
yeah.
sensible. I like that. Like he changed it
Mm,
up. ऐसा नहीं है कि उन्हें जाके he went hammers and tongs from ball one. No, he understood कि okay, we're getting close to end of day's play. There was the odd ball, if you noticed, was keeping low.
yeah,
Even from the faster bowlers, the ball which Cameron Green bowled to Joe Root, I felt Cameron Green was the pick of the bowlers today. But the
yeah.
ball he bowled to Joe Root, they showed कि pitch में थोड़ा सा ऊपर नीचे है, so he played much more sensibly, and it was a completely dominant day. And Zach Crawley, man, like I mentioned, a lot of people are saying England ke openers, ye wo, but he's had a fabulous series. If you see it, like an opening in England is not the easiest thing, and then to score a 180 like this and just keep your side in the series, I think
Mm.
fabulous under pressure, zabardast innings.
Yeah, somewhere down the line, I feel Australian bowler also just like they were blank at one point जहाँ पे
Blank.
Root and they were blank. They didn't know what was happening. Only lunch के बाद तो ऐसा लगे there's nothing in this pitch for them, right? And that's where you need like some kind of belief वाला bowler जहाँ पे he tries to experiment something, he tries to rile up the play. It was dead. Like Australia completely were like tired, exhausted, kept bowling the short ball, kept bowling the short ball. But again, I think the line and the length was not right. They're bowling it from the head, like the chest, maybe to the waist, and that's an easy area to pull the shot as well. So I think they were a little bit shorter on length in terms of bowling the actual short ball where it's a little bit threatening. You see, Joe Root was smart. He read his mistakes. He opened his stance a bit towards the more like mid wicket area. He opened it so that he can spread his hands across the shot. So I think that was a smart move from England. They're tired of the Australian bowling. For Australia's perspective now, Stark is injured. स्टार्क नहीं रहने वाला है शायद कल नहीं बोल सकता मतलब शोल्डर इंजरी है उसको गिवन हिज एज प्रॉब्ली इट टेक्स अ लिटिल बिट मोर टाइम टू हील. That'll be a very big problem for Australia because Cummins has already bowled his head out. Yeah, Hazelwood has also just returned from injury a month ago. That could be a warning sign. And then again, they have no spinner. They have no one. I mean, they have Mitch Marsh and they have Green and stuff, but it still
I
doesn't
mean,
look
yeah,
that great for them.
they have backup bowlers like in way. If Stark is not there, like he's the one who comes and finishes the tail. He's your wicket taking bowler. Of course, it's going to be a huge loss, especially if it doesn't bowl tomorrow. And yeah, like I don't know. Saturday they're saying the weather is not great at all.
Great,
Sunday
yeah.
there's rain as well. Tomorrow, I think England will look to capitalize on that. They'll look to go. They'll
Mm.
try to smash it, get a 200-run lead, and he'll declare, bro. Like he's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
gonna,
yeah,
he's
yeah.
not gonna get a
Yeah,
300.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
not
He's
gonna
not. Yeah.
he's going to declare because बारिश आ रही है, he's not going to stick around. उन्हें 200 250 once he finds a score where they can actually win by not even by innings defeat, but even if they have to chase 100 runs
Wickets. Yeah.
in the fourth innings, they'll do that. But
Mm.
he'll try to get out there as fast as possible and bowl them out. And that's the thing with this England team, Faz. Even on this pitch, you saw like yesterday, Australia were batting pretty well. It was a decent track to bat, but their combination in their bowling is helping them picking up wickets, like 10
Yeah.
wickets in an innings.
Yeah.
That's also that's part of baseball. We keep ignoring their bowling, but the lineup that they have with Mark Wood, Wokes, Broad Anderson, Moeen Ali also, it's allowing them to pick up wickets and finishing off teams. Otherwise, Australia would have got 400 easy on this kind
Yeah.
of pitch. But like the
Yeah.
fields that he's setting, the balls that they're bowling, Mark Wood's pace, of course.
The Wokes coming in was very crucial. I think at one point it was
Wokes.
yeah, it was Mark Wood for the longest time was bowling, and then Chris Wokes introduced, getting Mitch Marsh, Cameron Green, the two
Yeah.
main hitters out. I think वो बहुत crucial factor था. But from Australia end again, man, there's no plan B. There is nothing. They're just saying, "आओ पटको
I
ball."
mean, they had a plan B, but it's not working. It's just crazy
Yeah,
batting.
crazy
And,
batting.
and should I tell you something? What I learned because I think you might have said this also. I've also said that Joe Root should play anchor, let everybody else play baseball. But
Mm.
today, what I learned is that he actually caught them off guard by playing baseball, like by playing
Yeah,
aggressive cricket.
yeah, yeah.
Because उन लोग समझे कि उन्हें at least टुक टुक उन्हें करेंगे एक संभालना पड़ेगा मगर उन्हें भी मार रहा था so they had to spread the field for both. And Joe Root is a player that when you spread the field, then he knows when to take the single as well.
Yeah.
And he can find the gaps too. So that took them off guard. The reverse sweep six and all these shots that he's playing, it's catching them off like completely, and it keeps piling on the pressure. Moeen Ali got out. We thought that Australia will get back into the game. It didn't happen. They just kept smashing, kept hitting, and yeah, that was a wonderful partnership. I think when Joe Root came to the crease, the way those two picked up after that was sensational to watch. It was brilliant
Yeah,
batting, man.
100%. Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
I mean, the shots that there was a cover drive that Zach Raleigh hit, which reminded me of that first shot of the first test on the day one. Cover drive जो मारा उन्हें the sixes that he picked up from deep mid wicket भाई क्या lovely, like बहुत प्यारा था to see Zach Raleigh in his element जो बोलते हैं. And I think that's what, when you be patient with the player, he sort of wants to prove to his captain, to his team, that the waiting game on me was not wasted. And now he's showing us probably in every test Zach Raleigh's got a good contribution.
Yeah, and that's where you have to be thick-skinned as captain and coach and everything. That's where you have to be thick-skinned. They looked arrogant at times, like saying that no,
Yeah.
we're gonna play him. Forget it. There was Butler waiting in the wings. People were saying like get him
Malan,
in,
yeah.
get Malan in, get these guys
Yeah.
in. They said screw everything. This guy is going to be our opener for the whole year, from last year to now. उन्हें नचा दिया था उसको शमी सिराज उसको
Shami,
नचा
yeah.
दिए थे.
Yeah.
फिर न्यूजीलैंड कौन था सदी पोर्ट उसको भी
पाकिस्तान में एक सेंचुरी मारा था, but like he got a
वो
good
तो
partnership with
मगर
Bucket, but then
इंग्लैंड में
he
उन्हें
struggled.
स्ट्रगल
Yeah.
कर रहा था बहुत.
New Zealand, yeah.
फिर उसके बाद अभी जो उन्हें खेल रहा है ये सीरीज में, people were saying also in between निकाल दो, but we said उन्हें 40-50 मारा, that's what they need.
Yeah,
And this
that's
was
what they
an
need.
absolute bonus. 180 was an absolute bonus, and it was incredible, man. I really liked the cover drives he was playing as well,
Yeah.
and
Oof.
he's good
Good
against the short
timing.
ball.
Brilliant
Yeah.
timing. Brilliant timing.
And
And
I was listening to an Australian journalist. I think it was on, I forgot which podcast it was, but he was saying that actually Zach Roll, and he didn't say this now, he said this one test ago after the Lord's test thing, just during the Leeds test, he said that actually Zach Rowley is someone that Australia are not comfortable with. He's a kind of
mm,
player like Duckett and Loku, like Harry Brook. They'll probably they have plans for him stuff. With Zach Rowley, they're not kind of sure because he goes really hard at the bowlers and he
yeah.
executes it well. उन्हें
Yeah.
20 बॉल भी खेल लिया उसमें गारंटी 2-3 चौके छक्के है, right? Like, so that's the thing, like
Yeah,
so they
like
don't have plans
with
for him.
Ben Duckett, they have a trap for him. With Olipop, they had the outside of stumps trap. With Ben Duckett, also I think the left-hander's issue where he goes out for a drive.
It doesn't
But
leave the
Ben Duckett,
ball. Yeah.
yeah, Ben Duckett is sorry, Zach Rowley hits the ball very hard. Like today, I saw a couple of shots that it was like you wouldn't want to try to catch that, take a chance at in stopping the ball. उतना जोर से मारता. Taking the chance के अगर बात करें, Khwaja's catch was actually good to dismiss. It
हाँ,
was,
जबरदस्त
yeah, it
catch
was
था
very
वो.
good catch at deep mid wicket. Not deep, sorry, mid wicket, जो भी बोलो वो area.
Look at that.
Yeah, so I think Moeen Ali का जो dismissal था, and that was one of those you hope with your life that you actually catch it, वरना then again you drop it, momentum loses, and
Solid
but
catch
there
था वो.
was no point in the game के Australia came back. There was no point, like they were dead from the ball one. The way Root and Zach Rowley just kill their spirit. Tomorrow I think Pat Cummins has to blow some kind of belief in this team. It's gonna be hard now. They come down to the point of getting Labuschagne to bowl, so you can understand like this is Australia side is getting needy now. They're getting giddy to get some kind of a wicket. I don't think if it's gonna turn or not. It looks like a beautiful batting pitch. I'm pretty sure Khwaja, Smith, Labuschagne, all of them are kicking themselves in their bum, like saying we should have actually done better batting.
Yeah, and man, I just hope it doesn't rain. If it rains, then
Yeah.
what do you call it? It's going to be difficult for England. But like the way England are playing, they can still get a result. I still think they can. And I've been surprised. I thought I would see maybe England 350 for 6-7.
Yeah.
Like that, but what are they? 3 down right now, 4 down. They're 4
Four
down,
down,
and
yeah.
they have 6 wickets at hand. They can take this lead to 200, 250 if they want
And like
to.
you said, I think from here, if they play a T20 kind of a game, Ben Stokes, Harry Brook are much more capable in that. But Harry Brook is putting a price on his wicket. If they get to 200 before the first session, then another 50 or 100 runs, just give it off to.
He might
300.
retire before tea.
Yeah, 100%. I
He
think
could.
that
It gives him a session and a half. But yeah, ideally at tea, if he declares, if they bat.
and the way Mark Wood's pace is always going to help them. 150 every ball, 150 is going to help them. Every walk delivery which comes in, cuts in. I think that's going to help England. That's what the variation wise अगर आप देखो, there's a lot more in England. Bowling variation ज़्यादा है when you compare it to Australian bowling.
अब
Like,
आ गया वो नहीं, मगर वो आ गया अब, राइट? पहले नहीं था.
Yeah,
पहले
I
आप
mean,
देखो ऑस्ट्रेलिया
combination,
का
yeah.
बेटर था, लाइक कमिंस,
Yeah.
हेजलवुड, स्टार्क. मगर हम लोग यही बात कर रहे थे कि as the series goes on, it will affect their legs, it will affect their energy. They're 30 plus the Australian bowlers, but at the start of the series, you saw even against India, Australia had a really good variety in their
Yeah,
attack, and
yeah.
they still do. But England freshened things up. They're lucky that Wood came back and Wooks came back, and now they're killing it. If you saw the first 2 tests, England's bowling looked the opposite. It looked like
I think this pitch in particular is very different from the other one. It's a bit on the flatter side. It's a bit not giving any kind of swing or movement at all to any kind of bowler. I mean, yeah, Wooks got a bit of hint of movement. I won't say like he was trying for it, he just got it. But particularly, it's about bit more of a flatter wicket than what we were seeing in the first 3 tests.
Yes. Punter is saying that definitely has to be England's game. How was that move of
100%.
Moeen coming 1 down, Stokes learning from MSD? Yeah, I mean, we saw MSD do that, but it was Moeen Ali's call. Like, it wasn't even Stokes. When like they said it openly. He wanted to in the last game. He said he wants to bat 1 down. They let him go, and then they stuck with it. He said, "Yeah, I'll continue to bat 1 down." It gives them breathing space in terms of allows them to play an extra faster bowler. They bat deeper now, and Moeen Ali taking that responsibility. Bro, imagine, right? He had a busted finger. There's so much stuff going with him. He wasn't even in the playing Test cricket. He was a retired player. And the last month has been like he's batting 1 down in the Ashes, and he's the frontline spinner. It's incredible how things change in life. And the responsibility, even today, the way he batted, I think the building that partnership with Crawley, it deflated Australia a bit, it tired them to a certain
Hmm.
extent,
Hmm.
and it laid the platform for Joe Root to come in and continue playing aggressive cricket. So you have to commend Moin Ali for taking that responsibility and saying, "Ki, bhai, मैं जाके attack करूंगा उन लोगों को," and he took the pressure off Crawley also at a certain point, and
Yeah,
he
so it was
batted
basically
beautifully.
like Moin Ali gave the the breathing space to Zach Crawley, and Zach Crawley gave the breathing space to Joe Root. It was a very good balance in that top three, and that's what we've been wanting, contribution in the middle order, which we were not getting, right? Like Zach Crawley agar out ho gaya, Bendaket nahi kar raha. Kahin na kahin se now, when you have your top four or top three hitting a 50 plus run, that automatically gives you confidence in the game. And then now I'm pretty sure Ben Stokes is well on his way. Harry Brook is well on his way to get a few runs on the bat. Now session one again, we know it's known for wickets. First two wickets acha kare Australia, England, that they managed to get the Pat Cummins and whoever was left, I think was Stark and who was it, Hazelwood, who got knocked out before 317, and they came on to bat early, set up a very good base.
Jimmy
And
striking
after
with the
that,
first ball.
yeah, Jimmy, the first ball of the game, yeah.
जिमी बट आप ये चीज नोटिस करें वहां पे पार्टनरशिप बैटिंग जो चल रही थी मोइन अली पहले उन्हें अटैक कर रहा था फास्ट बॉलर्स को इज टेकिंग ऑन द शॉर्ट बॉल सब चल रहा था उसके बाद जब
Hmm.
ट्रेविस हेड आया वी नो दैट मोइन अली कभी कभी ऑफ स्पिनर के अगेंस्ट आउट हो जाता तो ही वाज बीइंग अ बिट केयरफुल राइट Zach Crawley took him out of the attack. He took Travis out of the attack in 1 over. I think he hit
Hmm.
him for like six and two, three
6 runs,
fours,
yeah,
and
yeah,
he just completely smashed him out of the attack. And that kept Moin Ali in the game after that. So like this partnership
100%,
batting as well, like
yeah.
helping your partner out in certain situations.
And I like
Very
the way
smart batting.
England have learned from their mistakes in the first three tests for sure. And like you said, the combination of the bowling 100% has changed them, especially at fiver from Mark Wood really put a dent in the Australian bowling attack, because now they're looking to hit Wokes and these guys, and they're getting out there as well. So I think that's something that has been working in their favor. And now it's like क्या आप फेल हो और आप पासिंग कॉम्बिनेशन आ गई फाइनली आपके पास, तो आपका जो भी चल रहा अभी मार्क वुड, वोक्स, एंडरसन, ब्रॉड, इट्स वर्किंग. एंड देन बैटिंग वाइज जितने भी गलतियां हुए, अब एटलीस्ट यू कैन सी जैक क्रॉली पुटिंग अ प्राइस, मोइन अली कमिंग इन द मिडल, लेफ्ट हैंड राइट हैंड कॉम्बिनेशन मिल रहा है आपको. सो बहुत अच्छी जम रही है अभी इंग्लैंड की. बॉल नीचे रह रही है अब. अली का रोल होगा अब सेकंड इनिंग्स में.
बिल्कुल होगा या
या
बॉल
बिल्कुल
नीचे
सो
रह रही
होगा,
है
लेट्स
लाइक
होप. इसलिए
लाबुशेन
आई
का भी
थिंक
एक बॉल
लैबुशेन का भी, इसलिए या लैबुशेन का भी इंट्रोडक्शन इसलिए हुआ था कि बॉल नीचे हो रही है. एंड आप कैमरन ग्रीन का भी विकेट अगर आप देखो, इट सॉर्ट ऑफ स्टेड डाउन अ बिट, राइट, व्हेन ही गॉट जैक
जरूर
क्रॉली बोल्ड.
या क्रॉली एंड रूट राइट.
रूट हेजलवुड निकाला.
अच्छा या दैट आल्सो केप्ट
Yeah,
लो.
that also kept low. So I think now it's gonna come to a point where like Labuschagne. I really would like to see Steve Smith bowl. I know maybe he might not bowl, but he's a good bowler. Like back in the day, he was one of the good leg spinners. I don't know क्या हो गया एकदम से.
Wokes inclusion turned around Ashes in favor of England. You guys agree? Yeah, I think Wokes and Wood both.
Yeah,
It changed the whole complexion because you also have to understand Wood ka jo pace hai and stuff is putting pressure and it allows the other bowler at the other end also to pick up wickets. And Wokes,
yeah,
तो मैं तो बोल रहा हूँ पहले से Wokes को खिलाना था, like in the first
yeah,
couple of matches. He's really good in English conditions. Outside of England, he's not that effective. If you see his average really spikes up, but in England in these conditions, this guy is a proper player and he can bat too. We saw against Pakistan in 2020, 2021 in the COVID series. We
yeah.
saw him here as well in the last game with the bat. It was incredible. And Mark Wood also with the. अभी Wood को भी आके मारना
Yeah,
है
Wood
भाई.
को भी 2-4 छक्के मार लेता हूँ ना तो.
उन्हें भी है आके मारना है तो yeah, I think it has changed and that's what I'm saying. So like I think personnel in the bowling has also helped their batting and it's also
Yeah.
made them a stronger team. It always works both ways, right? It's not just baseball is not all about batting, it's also about bowling, it's about aggressive fields, aggressive bowling, and you need some certain personnel to implement that and they
And
have
I
that right
think
now.
baseball is somewhere more dependent on the bowling rather than the batting. अगर आप bowling अच्छी करें and आप target restrict करें, तब आप जाके risk ले सकते हैं. I think. I mean, you can counter that saying कि अगर 400-600 है तो आप, but you would still put a price on your wicket, right? You would not want to go mayhem if there's a 400 run, 500 run.
But they will,
Uh,
bro. You saw like when they were
they
chasing.
will. I know. I'm saying they will. But if I looking at it like properly, bowling is more dependent. Like if they don't get a good start with the ball, if they don't get like 300, if Australia score like 500, 400, then khalas, you
Yeah.
have nothing much to do. You have to put a price wicket. You have to put conventional cricket. I know England are not like that, but I think if it back to back
Yeah,
happens where the
and
bowling is failing. will
Bro,
be a
this
big
is
problem.
this is why I keep backing this thing. Like in India, we won't be allowed to play like this because
Yeah, no
though
way.
आप 2-0 down
अपन
है,
वेस्ट इंडीज में डिक्लेयर करे तो परेशान हो गए थे अपन लोग.
आप देखो अगर इंडिया पाकिस्तान का मैच चल रहा है और उन्होंने ऐसा डिक्लेयर करा आप 2-0 डाउन है अगेंस्ट पाकिस्तान एंड यू कंटिन्यू टू प्ले लाइक दिस यू थिंक दे विल बी अलाउड टू नो देयर इज नो वे द मीडिया वोंट अलाउ इट द प्लेयर्स द कोचेस नो वन विल अलाउ इट ओवर
Mm.
हियर they're 2-0 down against their fiercest rivals and they're
Yeah.
continuing to play the same way. They haven't changed their game. They've changed personnel, they've changed tactics to a certain extent, but they have not changed the way they play. They continue to play in the same manner, and now it's getting them positive results. So, and you're playing against Australia, bro. Like, we always talk about, we always look to criticize one team. Even today, like, we can criticize Australia, but then you have to compliment the team who's doing well as well. Australia
Yeah.
is a solid
Yeah.
team,
Yeah.
and the first two games they deserve to win. They played really well. So you won't be able to get a victory any kind of ball you play, baseball or fastball or basketball.
Trap
You
ball.
won't be
Trap.
able to, yeah, you won't be able to win every game. You're not going to win the series 5-0. These two
But
very
I
good
think
sides.
like now with this England squad or in general and human tendency, if you keep doing something repeatedly, you learn the nuances. You upgrade yourself every match, and that's what England is doing. With every mistake that they're making, they're learning as well. Same with Zach Crawley backing. Like they kept backing him. He kept learning from his mistakes, and today you have a result. So it's like
But but
it's
but,
like a diamond kind of it's like a diamond kind of a thing. कि
but
कोयला आते 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 एकदम से diamond आ जाता. But you need to have the patience and like
yeah,
whatever
but that's the thing. They're not learning from their mistakes. They're committing the same thing, but for them that is not a mistake. It's just that
mistake.
it didn't
Yeah.
go the right way. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not
yeah.
like
The mentality is to keep the
he's not.
confidence up,
Yeah,
and yeah,
if
yeah,
it is correcting the mistake, he'll start leaving the ball. He'll start blocking. No, they're not doing that. They're continuing to make the same mistake. You call it or the method,
बिल्कुल,
but
yeah,
they think कि भाई like 80% of the time we will be in the right.
yeah,
20% it won't come off. We'll look
yeah.
bad, but it's okay.
It's like
We'll
a
take that.
probability question, हाँ. It's like a
Yeah,
probability question.
yeah,
अब
exactly.
स्टोक्स भी तेज खेल रहा है. लास्ट 2 दिन रेन, या वही प्रॉब्लम है अंशुल भाई, और वही डिस्कशन चल रहा था कि शायद फर्स्ट सेशन में अगर 67 की लीड है और 139 मार चुके 200 की रन लीड करके सेकंड सेशन तक अगर 250 भी आ गए तो इंग्लैंड डिक्लेयर कर देगी. टी से पहले तो इंग्लैंड डिक्लेयर करके बुलाएगी, एंड अगर ओवरकास्ट कंडीशन में फिर बॉल मूव होना शुरू कर देगा, विच विल बी गुड फॉर द इंग्लिश बॉलर्स. सो यू कुड सी
Yeah.
दैट हैपनिंग.
तो वहां पे अगर थोड़ा गेम मिल गया भी आपको सैटरडे संडे को देन यू कैन रैप थिंग्स अप इफ
Yeah, but it will
इफ
be
यू
sad if they just rains 2 days off. It'll be upsetting to see
yeah
that
man
happen.
because then 2-1 I mean the series will still be on but Australia will retain the Ashes right so
And they'll be like comfortable, like in their mind space.
yeah
But
it will
looking at comfortable, Pakistan didn't look that comfortable. 83 runs banane the Pakistan ko, but Pakistan being Pakistan, they lost about what 4 wickets in the morning. I mean, they Babar Azam getting a 24 or something, 28 if I'm not wrong, yeah, 24, and Imam ul Haq getting a half century. But Prabhat Jasuria getting a couple of wickets, and
bro the guy
thoda
loves
bahut,
bowling over here
yeah,
man Jasuria हर वक्त जब
yeah.
कॉल में खेलता है he picks up like 4 5 6 wickets
Yeah. So yeah, ये थोड़ा बहुत डर गए थे, but then yeah, of course, South Shakila के 30 run मारा, and Aga Salman and Imamul Haq finished off things. So Pakistan did win 1-0 eventually, but it would have been prettier to like lose without losing any wickets. Actually, I got 167 का total है, but a win is a win. Pakistan move on. इंडिया का करंट सिचुएशन आई एम प्रीटी श्योर ज्यादा लोग नहीं देख रहे होंगे या देख रहे होंगे. 178 for 3 है, जहाँ पे जायसवाल 57 पे आउट हो गया, रोहित शर्मा 80 पे और शुभमन गिल 10 रन्स पे आउट हो गया. अभी विराट कोहली बैट कर रहे हैं 17 पे. आई मीन मैं जैसे मुस्तफा भाई को बोल रहा था व्हाट्सएप पे कि आई एम प्रीटी श्योर इंडिया शुड मेक अबाउट 500 रन्स एंड देन जस्ट डिक्लेयर एंड ट्राई गेटिंग देम आउट इन back to back sessions, man. I think that's a big possibility.
थोड़ा बेटर है पिच तो दे विल बी आई मीन इन टर्म्स लाइक बॉलर्स के लिए थोड़ा और ज्यादा है बट I think 350 400 will be enough bro 300 will be enough also against this West Indies batting lineup.
Yeah, which is sad to say. Like I mean, even thinking about West Indies, once upon a time you had Curtly Ambrose, Courtney Walsh. हमारे ज़माने के एटलीस्ट एंडिंग देखे थे आई थिंक कोर्टनी वॉश एंड कर्टली एम्ब्रोस के. देन यार मोर्विन डिलेन ऐसे प्लेयर थे, क्रिस गेल, ब्रायन लारा, जिमी एडम्स, कितने लोग थे. बट अब का तो चंद्रपाल था. अब तो समझ में नहीं आ रहा कि कौन है क्या है. एंड इट्स जस्ट सैड टू सी वेस्ट इंडीज क्रिकेट ऐसा अनकम्पिटिटिव रहा. इधर से आई थिंक आयरलैंड जाने वाले, एंड देन एशिया कप का तो अभी तक कुछ फाइनलाइज हुआ नहीं. सो स्टिल वेटिंग ऑन दैट.
हो गया फाइनलाइज खाली
लाइक
स्क्वाड करना है
ना, फिक्सचर्स रिलीज कर दी पीसीबी
रिलीज हो गया
और रिलीज हो गया. सो या
there's
सेकंड
going to be a few
इज
games in Pakistan and India Pakistan will be in Gal and there's like yeah it's released the final will be in Colombo.
Can't wait. That's gonna be good, hopefully. But yeah, from Australia's perspective, how do you think they should come up tomorrow, man? Like with a battering like today, how do you think they'll come off tomorrow?
I mean, it's tough because you're in a situation where you have a player down also. You're tired too. But it's about trying to get wickets, as many wickets as possible. I think if you can't be too defensive, because if you're gonna,
Hmm.
I think you spread the field and everything, but still look to take wickets, try to get the catches and everything, and be alert in the field, because that's the only way you're gonna contain them. If you just, like, play defensive lines and stuff like that, England's gonna trounce all over you. I still feel like, what, it's 60-run lead with rain in mind.
Hmm.
Australia is still in this game. They're in this series. They can still retain the Ashes despite getting screwed in this game, right? Because of
Uh,
the weather helping them. The weather can still help them.
yeah,
But
true.
it's about the only way they're going to do it is pick up wickets.
Yeah,
For that, Mitchell Marsh, Cameron Green have to step up as well. They have to back Pat Cummins. Like you said, Pat Cummins is going to run out of energy soon. He's the only guy
yeah,
who's
he's
playing
done, bro. Like, yeah,
every single game, and his workload is a lot. I mean, Stuart Broad is also playing every game, but Cummins' workload is much more. He's like the main bowler, strike bowler, and he is bowling well in this series. But
and he's captain as well, so he has
he's captain as
that
well. There is
responsibility.
a limit to it, right? So they need someone like a Mitchell Marsh, Cameron Green to step up, and Hazelwood to be on point as well. Look, England will give you chances. It's about grabbing those chances and like finishing the innings as soon as possible.
True. Yeah, that's what it is. I think Pat Cummins, he's bowling his heart out, and now with Stark's injury, it's gonna be harder because Stark is the bowler gets those wickets. In If I'm gonna be a little bit positive for Australia, I think I would say कि अगर 2-3 विकेट गिर गए जल्दी जल्दी कल सक्सेशन में, क्विक सक्सेशन में, like Ben Stokes चलेगा, Harry Brook चलेगा, and they wrap it up between 130 runs for England getting all out. That's a good day, good session for Australia, I think.
बिल्कुल, बिल्कुल 100%। सो दैट्स द थिंग, दे हैव टू ट्राई एंड गेट द विकेट्स। बेन स्टोक्स और हैरी ब्रूक को पहले घंटे में निकालना है, उसके बाद फिर गो टू द टेल। अब दिस टेल इज आल्सो वैगिंग दीस डेज, सो लाइक दैट कुड बी अनदर फ्रस्ट्रेशन। ऐसा ना हो कि आप दोनों को निकाल दिया, फिर उसके बाद वुड और
Yeah,
वुड्स पार्टनरशिप बना दिया 50-60 का,
या
तो
जो इंडिया में हमारे को आदत है देखने की, किधर जाएगा ये टेस्ट मैच? एंडी भाई पूछ रहे हैं, एंडी भाई कौन सा इंडिया वेस्ट इंडीज बोल रहे हैं आप
आई
या
थिंक इंडिया वेस्ट
ऑस्ट्रेलिया?
इंडीज का बोल रहे हैं। इंडिया ही मेरे को ऐसा दिख रहा है कि जीतेंगी, लेकिन अभी देखना
या
पड़ेगा वेस्ट इंडीज कैसा बैटिंग करते हैं। मगर वेस्ट इंडीज की बैटिंग हैज नॉट रियली इम्प्रेस्ड मी, तो उस हिसाब से मुझे दिख रहा है इंडिया अगर 300 के ऊपर मारती है तो फिर इंडिया का ही गेम होगा।
एंड या देन अश्विन आ जाएगा, अश्विन क्लियर कर देगा। आई मीन इट्स गोना बी वेरी हार्ड फॉर हिज इनएक्सपीरियंस वेस्ट
We would
इंडीज
love to see West Indies put up a fight
फाइट
and take
बैक।
them,
या
yeah, and maybe even take it till the end. But थोड़ा मुश्किल दिख रहा
द
है।
थिंग इज इनएक्सपीरियंस इतना है कि दे डोंट नो एनीथिंग लाइक हाउ टू प्ले, यू नो, ये बॉलिंग जो अश्विन डाल रहा था, लाइक बेचारे दे डिडंट नो हाउ टू इवन काउंटर इट। तो आई
I
थिंक दिस
Today I learned a lesson in contrast. I was watching one game and it was going 2 runs and over. I was watching another game and it was going 7 runs and over, and it was both
या
a test match. It was
या
just crazy, man. Gill disappointed successfully. We want to put you back. Look, with Shubman Gill, look, I still back him at number 3. I think that's his position, but he's had a wonderful year. He's going to have downfalls. ऐसा नहीं है कि नहीं होने वाला। बहुत young है, 23 का है एंडी भाई, तो थोड़ा सा सब्र रखना पड़ेगा उसके साथ। एक दो फेलियर से या 10 फेलियर से आप उसको निकालना नहीं चाहिए। अब जैक रॉली को देखो कितना बैक करे इंग्लैंड, और अभी जाके एक साल के बाद उन्हें अभी जाके इतना बड़ा इनिंग खेला। ने तो उन्हें एक साल से तो एक ही 100 है उसका, और खाली स्टार्ट्स देयर आउट हो जा रहा। तो उस हिसाब से आपको शुभमन गिल को तो बैक करना ही पड़ेगा। इफ ही इज फेल्ड इन अ सीरीज, दैट्स नॉट अ बिग डील। आई थिंक ही इज ओनली 23, ही विल लर्न, इट्स अ लर्निंग कर्व फॉर हिम।
I think given, I mean, I'm not gonna क्या बोलते put hide Shubman Gill's mistakes. Yes, he should have ideally had a double hundred or something like that. But in the situation जहाँ पे it mattered, like this series particularly doesn't matter that much. I mean, with all respect to West Indies, every series matters. Yeah, I understand stats and stuff, but जहाँ पे गिल को बताना था, like, you know, the double hundred that he scored and stuff like that, it was against good quality cricketing teams. I mean, again, with all due respect to West Indies, this is more like now that Rohit Sharma Jaiswal आधा run बना दिए, it's like let me just come and try hitting and stuff and get out. Like no one's going to actually care, very honestly. Like I don't think the Indian selectors are also going to look into this keenly के अरे इन्हें out हो गया, अरे शुभमन गिल ऐसा हो गया. It's just one off like Mustafa said. I'm pretty sure he's enjoying his time off rather than, I think it's like more like a time off. and there's somewhere down the thing to just hide the cracks of the WTC. Most of this team is there because WTC may fail away. वरना अगर WTC जीते तो half of this team would have not traveled right
या
towards
मगर अब
final.
देखो एंडी भाई बोल रहे हैं कि कोई बच्चा नहीं है, प्रिंस बना रहता, कितना टाइम चाहिए गिल को, उसको जितना भी टाइम दे सकते देना पड़ेगा, राइट? बिकॉज
He's
उन्हें आपका
21,
नेक्स्ट
man. He's 21, 22 right now, and he has a long way ahead of him.
23 है शायद, मगर ब्रो उसको तो टाइम ही टाइम देना है, उन्हें आपका नेक्स्ट प्लेयर है, लाइक ही इज द नेक्स्ट बिग थिंग इन इंडियन क्रिकेट, सो यू हैव टू गिव हिम एज मच एज टाइम एज पॉसिबल. ही इज गोइंग टू गो थ्रू फ्लॉप्स. विराट कोहली वेंट थ्रू इट, द ग्रेटेस्ट ऑफ द ग्रेटेस्ट विल गो थ्रू फ्लॉप्स,
Yeah,
एंड दिस इज
Virat
नॉट अ
was in
बिग
three
डील.
years, not in one
ये
year.
वेस्ट
Yeah.
इंडीज उसका पहला फेलियर है, लाइक इन द होल ईयर उन्हें हर सीरीज में सेंचुरी मार रहा. So
Mm.
I don't think you should be too critical on Shubman Gill. I don't think we should focus too much on that. Yes,
And I'm
he
pretty
has
sure
issues.
if the
We
if he
already
does
knew
yeah.
जब उन्हें सेंचुरीज मार रहा था कि ठीक है, फ्लैट ट्रैक्स में he enjoys a bit more, and in struggling in tough conditions he will struggle at times. But it's about, you still have to admire his talent, and he does have the shots, he does have the temperament. You just have to keep backing him. He's only 23.
True, and like that's what I'm saying. Like again, this series is not going to matter a lot. Not a lot of people have been looking at it or talking about it. So that's where I'm coming from. Ki bhai, it's a good breather for him now. Asia Cup and World Cup, these are the places I'm going to analyze him. I know he's going to make mistakes there as well. I don't expect him to be 100 and 100, 900 runs that he scored like an IPL, but that's where I would rather look at his cricketing and the dismissal that he's giving rather than this kind of a series where it's more like a holiday, man. Very honestly, I feel bad saying this, but it is what it is.
छुट्टी मना रहे हैं. Like cricket,
100%.
अब देखो, like if you're looking from that perspective, then like the other players like Jaiswal and stuff is making the most. Even Rohit Sharma is making the most of it. So Gill should also take more responsibility and everything. But we know that he does have certain weaknesses. He does have certain problems in pitches which are not with true bounce and flat,
Yeah.
right? Like
Moving conditions.
yeah, he does have some issues. This wicket is a bit sticky too. So he has to work on that and improve, because you can't take any series lightly. Because when you're scoring runs, you got to continue it. We don't know when the dip will come. But yes, I don't think we should be thinking about dropping or anything like that. This guy's a
sometimes these dismissals are also good. It just puts you back to a human tendency. अरे हाँ, मैं हवा में उड़ा था, मैं जमीन पे आ गया type. So like वो भी कभी कभी अच्छा होता है. And like again, there's still a lot of cricket. There's Ireland, there's Asia Cup, there's Australian Tour, there's World Cup. He has a lot of time to prepare himself to become a prince or whatever it is that he is. But yeah, I think more or less like Shubman Gill, abhi I won't criticize him that heavily because he's done 6 months of amazing cricketing work. 1 of 2 of dismissals. I think it's not justified that you start criticizing him and stuff.
Yeah, Zeb Siraj is in the house saying hi.
Yes,
What's up?
sir.
Hi, thank you so much.
Yes, Pakistan की बात कर रहे थे Zeb bhai, and like yeah, 6 wickets down, man. I mean, I didn't expect a Pakistan. It wasn't a collapse per se. Like Imam ul Haq managed to get a 50, but yeah, it should have ideally been without a dismissal or something, in my opinion. But yeah, एशिया कप का स्केड्यूल एशिया ऐसा क्यों रखा पीसीबी ने? Again, it was subject like A1 B2 का मसला है. A1 अगर पाकिस्तान
हाइब्रिड फॉर्मेट
hybrid
बिकॉज
format.
आपको गेम पाकिस्तान में भी रखना था, श्रीलंका में भी रखना था, इसलिए थोड़ा सा कंफ्यूजिंग था. और इंडिया पाकिस्तान में खेलेगी नहीं और पाकिस्तान खेलेगी पाकिस्तान में, तो लाइक थोड़ा सा कंफ्यूजिंग था, मगर इसलिए थोड़ा सा कंफ्यूजिंग
So there's 1 in Multan and 3 in Lahore, I think, matches, and yeah, that's how it's going to be. उसके अलावा I think
Colombo
अगर
and
पाकिस्तान अगर जीतती है या हारती है, फर्स्ट या सेकंड आती है टेबल में, they'll still be A1 because A1 versus B2 is the fixture that will be most likely played in what do you call Pakistan.
The hybrid model is asking if you can explain it. It's basically a model to accommodate more than one international like country. So it'll be like Sri Lanka plus Pakistan. It's hybrid just means like it's thoda sa like a modification, right? Modification.
Yeah.
And to us hisab se because India can't play in Pakistan, they're not going to go to Pakistan. But Pakistan are the host and they still want to host games there. They're having a few games here and then they're going to have a few games in Sri Lanka too. So that's what it means. It's just a mixture of two countries joining in and trying to host a tournament.
Yeah, exactly. That's what
so
it is.
Yeah, Pakistan will play a few games at home. There will be also I think Afghanistan or somebody else will play a couple games in Pakistan, and then the tournament will be in Sri Lanka, the rest of the tournament. Have you guys watched the promo of the ICC Cricket World Cup? I saw it today. I think Faiz, you sent it to me.
The Shah Rukh Khan thing, Shah Rukh Khan का था. उससे पहले तो स्पेस में था, स्पेस में था.
उसमें वो 92, 96, 99 नहीं दिखा है चैंपियंस.
मैं नहीं देखा जो प्रोमो की बात कर, आई जस्ट सॉ शाहरुख खान फोटो, आई थिंक आई सेंट यू
मैं
दैट
देखा,
एंड
हाँ, मैं देखा
या
प्रोमो लाइक, मगर मेरे को याद नहीं आ रहा एंड में धोनी का छक्का भी बताते हैं उसमें, फिर
क्या
एसआरके
बात है।
आया, तो इट विल बी इंडिया वर्सेस पाकिस्तान फाइनल ऑन 17 सितंबर, दैट्स व्हाट वी ऑलवेज विश फॉर, बट हो रहा नहीं आजकल फाइनल
I
वैसा.
mean, there's good teams in Asia Cup if you actually look
Yeah,
at
I
it.
mean, you got to watch out for Sri Lanka, Afghanistan, Bangladesh as well, man. They're going to compete
Nepal
in
is
this.
also a very good fighting team. I mean, we've seen what they did last year. वो जो dramatic way of qualification था, and I think Nepal. I mean, even in this ICC qualifiers, they did a decent job. I mean, they didn't qualify for the World Cup, but I think they've come a long way. And these kind of teams usually have a क्या बोलते हैं, agenda in the terms of showing what they're capable of doing. So that makes them a dangerous team, right? जब आपको दिल में है कि मैं इंडिया पाकिस्तान टीम में हेड टू हेड खेलना चाहूंगा, एंड देन यू जस्ट सॉर्ट ऑफ गेट, आई नो इंडिया माइट स्मैश देम बट इट्स जस्ट अ गुड इंसेंटिव टू हैव।
Yeah, 100%. Zeb is saying, yeah, it was a bit disappointing actually as a Pakistani, but yeah, win is a win. It's at least they did
A
a
win
good
is a
job.
win, but like I think I know what Zabai means. Like I think it's just you should have actually finished it without losing a wicket. Imam ul Haq at least getting a 50, but I still expect bigger things from him. Shan Masood, these guys really are good quality
But
cricket.
in Sri Lanka, it does get a bit tougher in the second innings
Yeah.
to bat, like fourth innings to bat. So I think the fact that South Shakil and these guys put up a big score,
You
it
remember
just kind of helped.
remember Rangana Herath
Yeah,
कैसा विकेट
he
लेता
ripped
था
through.
यार उन्हें, yeah, he
एक मैच आया
600
था हम
wickets
लोग, हमारे को मैच था सुबह में, इंडिया वाज चेसिंग 120 समथिंग, ऑल आउट हो गए थे
he
इंडिया.
had 6 wickets, man. He took like 6 or 8
Yeah,
wickets. He smashed us completely, and
so like
and that guy was a very underrated bowler, I think, Rangana Herath.
well, he was amazing, bro, especially in
Yes,
South African
brilliant.
conditions.
600 is, I think he took 600 wickets in his
अम्मा
career, I
नहीं,
think.
उतना नहीं ले आऊंगा.
नहीं लिया?
आई डोंट थिंक
think
सो,
so.
बट वो बहुत ज्यादा है, बट ऐसी तैसी कर दी श्रीलंका की. West Indies playing well in the second test match right now. Yeah, I think they've done a fairly decent job. Another wicket is gone, Faiz, as we speak.
433. Yeah.
Mr. Jinx is Rahane is out. Gabriel has bowled him
Yeah,
180.
I think this now for Rahane this is going to be important because for Rahane it's a proving point, and I think now when he was criticized, people criticized कि Rahane को वापस ला लिए team में. It's a bit bad because he should have got runs under his belt मेरे हिसाब से.
और थोड़ा प्रेशर में आ गई इंडिया 182 फॉर, फिर भी 300 तक पहुंच गया, आई थिंक ठीक रहेगा, बट वेस्ट इंडीज आर बॉलिंग मच बेटर
Yeah.
इन दिस गेम.
430 wickets. Herath got 430 wickets last year.
430 या 600 बहुत ज्यादा है.
600 कई को याद आ रहा था, but
से,
yeah, it's
से,
a good.
श्रीलंका से ऐसी हार एक्सपेक्टेड नहीं थी, वेस्ट इंडीज इन
Bro, that
कमेंट.
also 93 matches, man. That's incredible.
या उन्हें वहां पे गोल कैंडी, क्या है वो कैंडी में, कोलंबो
Hmm.
में, प्रेमदासा
Candy.
स्टेडियम में, ही
Yeah.
वाज अ बिट ऑफ ही वाज अ नाइटमेयर फॉर द बैटर्स, मैन. रंगना
Yeah.
हेरात.
एसएल से ऐसी हार एक्सपेक्टेड नहीं थी. आई मीन एसएल इज स्टिल रीबिल्डिंग स्टेजेस में. आई थिंक टी20 वर्ल्ड कप से ही इन लोगों का रीबिल्डिंग चल रहा है,
बट
एंड
आई थिंक इवन द टीम श्रीलंका में नॉर्मली उन लोग जीत जाते हैं, लाइक
जीत
दैट्स
जाते
व्हाई
हैं.
मे
या बट अगेन
बी.
न्यूजीलैंड आके मारी थी अभी, तो आई थिंक इट्स स्टिल लाइक it takes some time, I think, for them to come. They have a I mean, Angelo Matthews abhi tak khel raha and stuff like that. I don't know why Shanaka is not in the test team and stuff like that, but it's going to be interesting what they go up with. When Dhananjay Silva particularly for Sri Lanka stood out. Zabardast batting करा दोनों innings में.
Rahane could be dropped if he didn't perform well, if he doesn't perform well in this
And
test
that's
match.
what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Like that's what I'm saying. It was one of the audition kind of things that bringing Rahane, is it a good thing or a bad thing? And that's where now Rahane is going to probably be in a bit of a tension because like he has Shreyas Iyer will come back from injury and stuff like that. So maybe his spot might not be there now.
Yeah, for the Jinx. And now again, like Ashwin, Jadeja खेल रहा नहीं?
Mm.
Ashwin Jadeja into who's gonna bat next? I'm just checking after T. Uh, who's
I
there?
think
Yeah,
I
Jadeja will
think
come in.
I
Jadeja
think
or
I
Ishan
think
Kishan?
Ishan Kishan will get his birthday or something, right? If I'm not wrong,
Yeah,
maybe we might
I
be
think
seeing.
him or Ishan Kishan will come. Jadeja or Ishan Kishan. They still have plenty of
Because
batting.
considering last match में उसको chance नहीं मिला, I felt bad for him. But yeah, I think this might be a good time for him to come. And both are left-handed, so it might not really make a big difference.
Congratulations to Broad for 600 Barat for wickets. Yeah,
Yeah, and congratulations Moin Ali for 3,000 runs, bro. He came back with 3,000 runs.
गया रहाने भाई. हाँ, रहाने आउट हो गया. अभी थोड़ा pressure है. Don't forget Sri Lankan captain Diwan
Karunaratne,
Karunaratne,
yeah,
as he has
yeah.
performed well in the past years. Yeah, even Amir Sohail in the pre-match was saying that if I'm Pakistan, I just need to get this guy out. I need to get him out because उन्हें चिपक गया crease पे, तो it's going to be extremely difficult for Pakistan. So yeah, he's done pretty well as well. England वाले इंडिया के लोगों की तरह एंडरसन और ब्रॉड को चोकर नहीं बोलते क्या?
इंग्लैंड वाले इंडियन लोगों के एंडरसन और ब्रॉड uh Broad और एंडरसन को चोकर नहीं बोलना चाहिए because I mean what they have
आई मीन
together.
एंडरसन जीता सीरीज इंडिया में, उसने जीता ऑस्ट्रेलिया में, उसने जीता साउथ अफ्रीका में, उसने जीता
Yeah.
इंग्लैंड में, तो चोकर थोड़ी है भाई उन्हें, लाइक इज इनक्रेडिबल बॉलर.
Anderson is India's worst nightmare at once upon a time, especially in 2019 to 2013. He used to kill everybody there. So, मेरे हिसाब से Anderson and Broad are one of the two legends of cricket. I mean, I won't say a word against them at this point. Back to back, कभी आप ये मत देखो कि choke हुआ है, right? And that's what it is at this point of time.
Yeah.
Still, you have Broad picking up Warner 17 times. You have Broad getting out wickets. He was the main bowler for England in the second or the first test के second innings में उन्हें निकाल रहा था wickets. So he still is a impact bowler. Jimmy Anderson in this particular series, yes, he's lost his rhythm, but we're all shocked for him. But this pitch in particular मतलब more flatter है यार. Like मजा नहीं आ रहा मेरे को pitch से. My batting paradise है, yes. It's good for the
मगर फिर भी
batsman.
देखो आप, लाइक इंग्लैंड कैसा एक्सप्लॉइट करे कल, वो भी हो सकता था, लाइक सो इट डिपेंड्स ऑन वेयर यूर पिचिंग, क्रिएटिंग चांसेस एंड एवरीथिंग. देयर इज, यस ऑफ कोर्स इट्स मच मोर फ्लैटर डे 3. आई कंप्लीटली एग्री विद यू देयर, बट इट्स आल्सो द पेस दैट दे वर बैटिंग एट, इट जस्ट थ्रू ऑफ कमिंस एंड ऑस्ट्रेलिया, मैन, इट जस्ट थ्रू देम ऑफ. अगर थोड़ा सा उन लोग देख के खेले, दे वुड हैव स्टिल बीन इन द गेम. जैसा ऑस्ट्रेलिया थोड़ा देख के खेल रहे थे ना लाबुशेन उन लोग, एंड इंग्लैंड एक गैप लेके विकेट ले लिया. यहाँ पे क्या था, कोई देयर वाज नो ब्रीदिंग स्पेस. जो क्रॉली और रूट मार रहे थे, दे डिडंट नो व्हाट टू डू.
कोई कैच भी नहीं दिए, कुछ ऐसा भी नहीं था कि मोमेंट था कि भाई आउट हो जाते.
एक आध उन्होंने मोइन अली कैच दिया था, नेक्स्ट ओवर आउट हो गया था. फिर उसके बाद आई थिंक या देयर वाज मे बी वन और टू हाफ चांसेस, बट नॉट मच. ब्रॉड ने वार्नर को कितना आउट किया, तो इंग्लैंड वाले ब्रॉड को वार्नर का बाप नहीं बोलते क्या? बोलते होंगे
लाइक डेविड.
हाँ, एक टी शर्ट पहना था कोई, कल देखा शायद में, द वार्नर का था, दिस इज द प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ ब्रॉड और समथिंग. या कुछ था 2010 ब्रॉड टी20 वर्ल्ड कप में गुड बॉलिंग करी थी. या
Jimmy should not be criticized. He has performed. Yeah, Jimmy Anderson the class bowler यार. उसको जिस तरीके पिंक बॉल का टूर्नामेंट याद है मुस्तफा, एशेज वाला?
हाँ,
कैसा निकाल रहा था विकेट, कैसा स्पेल्स थे उसके उसमें.
और आप उसको वो देखो 2010-11 एशेज में ऑस्ट्रेलिया में जो बॉलिंग करा उन्हें, देयर वाज अ इंस्टेंस, इट्स अ वायरल वीडियो ऑन YouTube. उसमें मिचेल जॉनसन looks at him on the non-striker and he's like, why aren't you effing chirping now, mate? And next ball he gets the guy out for the other batsman, and then he looks at him, goes like this. That was peak Anderson, bro. He was incredible.
Yeah, and वही है ना कि I think in my lifetime it's the first time I'm even like considering criticizing, नहीं बोलूँगा, talking against Jimmy Anderson, and that's what he is. It's too much, man. Like he's a fantastic bowler. Look at the wickets, look at the records. It just speaks for himself. And I think 40 पे आके डालना consistently, with the younger generations, it's a statement in itself what kind of a class act he is.
Yeah, इंडिया पाकिस्तान के फैंस ही चोकर ये सब बोलते हैं अपने प्लेयर को.
देखो अपने प्लेयर का अपना इंडिया में प्रॉब्लम क्या है, सेंटिमेंटल बहुत है अपन.
नहीं, हर जगह रहता है, साउथ अफ्रीका में बोलते हैं.
नहीं मैं बोलता लाइक मैं खुद इंक्लूडिंग माय सेल्फ, आई गेट इमोशनल एंड आई स्टार्ट ब्लर्टिंग थिंग्स अगेंस्ट इंडियन क्रिकेट. प्रॉब्लम विद इंडिया इज इंजरी इतनी होती है, इतनी फ्रीक्वेंट इंजरी होती है स्ट्राइक बॉलर का. बुमराह को तो आप देख लो, 2 साल से मैं नहीं देखा, 1 साल से तो मैं ही नहीं देखा, राइट? सो दैट्स व्हाट इट इज, सो मच चेंज एंड देन वी नॉट particularly patient, we're not particularly like हवेली पे बुला के फिर अपन हकाल देते, वैसा भी ना लगा रहे अब देखो अब जैसा and then we have injuries, संजू इसको नहीं. India is a different cricket. India is more emotional, most emotional I think when I mean Australia is there as well, yes, 100% Australia loves their cricket, but India just there's too much criticism, too much like banter, too much fan following. That अब देखो विराट कोहली को शुभमन गिल के ऊपर चढ़ गए पूरे. So I think it's just an emotional country in overall sense.
बिल्कुल नहीं, मगर वो तो हर उसमें रहता है. साउथ अफ्रीका को भी चोकर्स बोलते हैं, हर स्पोर्ट में कोई ना कोई चोकर्स बोलते हैं. इट्स नॉट लाइक अ कंट्री बेस्ड थिंग. 2010 इंग्लैंड वन टी20 वर्ल्ड कप, 2011 इंडिया वन ओडीआई वर्ल्ड कप, 2022 इंग्लैंड वन टी20 वर्ल्ड कप, 2023 इंडिया क्वेश्चन मार्क. विराट को 6 टाइम, सचिन को 9 टाइम आउट किया ने जिमी ने. या मैन, इज इनक्रेडिबल. जिमी इज अ हैंडसम क्रिकेटर एंड प्लेयर, नेवर रिटायर. इंडिया पाकिस्तान में फैंस कुछ ज्यादा सेंटिमेंटल है.
वही है ना भाई, इट्स लाइक जस्ट क्रिकेट इज वन ऑफ देयर गिल्टी प्लेजर या जो भी बोलो, एंड उनला देखने बहुत
वो तो
जरूरी है उनके
अरे
वजह से।
इंग्लैंड भी है, मैं देख लिया, लाइक इंग्लैंड में भी जो फैंस होते हैं, जो एक्सपर्ट्स होते हैं, उन लोग भी बहुत सेंटिमेंटल होते हैं। अब वो 2 मैच हारे, दे आर ऑल सेइंग स्क्रू दिस बास्केटबॉल, दिस एंड दैट, बट इट्स देयर प्लेयर्स, द मैनेजमेंट, दे आर अ बिट मोर थिक स्किन देन दैट, दे नॉट फियर, दे डोंट फियर लूजिंग, दे डोंट केयर, बट लाइक फैंस तो हर जगह इमोशनल होते हैं। लाइक आप फुटबॉल में भी देख लो, क्रिकेट में, हर कंट्री में इमोशनल
ना अब
रहते हैं।
इंडिया में कैसा है मसला, लाइक रोहित शर्मा के एक फैन बेस है, विराट कोहली का एक फैन, सब लड़ लेते रहते हैं अपने आप से, एंड देन यू हैव लाइक इन बॉलिंग डिपार्टमेंट एंड वी आर ऑलवेज लाइक अरे इसको निकालो, मॉफी
अब
को
वो
लाओ इसको।
अभी
तो
इंग्लैंड,
अभी एवरीबॉडी हैज अ सेपरेट कैंप इज व्हाट आई एम सेइंग,
मैं
एंड या
आपको,
आई मीन
वो तो हर उसमें, अब इंग्लैंड में यूरोस में when Saka missed a penalty, all the Tottenham fans were on him. When Kane missed the penalty in the World Cup, all the Arsenal fans were on him. So that's gonna happen in any sport, bro. It happens in any sport. It's just that we're Indian, to and like Indian Pakistani, we're
I mean,
desi,
again,
so that's
the
why we
I mean
see it.
the size of our country as well in terms of
Yeah, yeah.
population,
तो
that
इसलिए
it gets
दिक्कत है.
more. Though दिख के आएगा, and again, where one of the cricket is like national sports is ज़्यादा but मान के, so that's how it is. What do you guys think about थोड़े ऊपर? I think comments छोटे मुस्ती. Today was excellent. McCullum and Stokes backing Crawley paid off. Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
Mustafa was exactly saying. हम इंडिया वाले पहले ODI और T20 खेलते हैं, फिर टेस्ट, अदर कंट्री पहले टेस्ट फिर ODI खेलते हैं. Yeah, I think इंडिया mainly ODI और T20 ज्यादा खेल रही है, and टेस्ट कम कम खेल रही है in the recent times. But I mean, it's just a schedule. I don't know what basis पे वो set होता है. What do you guys think about Zach Crawley today? Phenomenal. I think hard hitting, getting the gaps, like Ibrahim Bhai just said, excellent. McCullum and Stokes patience worked off for Crawley, and now Crawley showing us what he's capable of doing from the first test, from the onset, right? From 63 runs, he got 10, he got 42 runs, then he got like some contributions, and today 189. Not looking to stop at all. I mean, a good delivery from Hazelwood, kept low. I thought he was going to get 200, very honestly.
Yeah, I think it was a sensational innings, and he was backed by his captain and coach for so long. Incredible, man. I really enjoyed that innings. I watched
Mm.
almost all of it, and it was beautiful to watch. It was
Yeah,
Zabardast batting, and
beautiful.
he was taking on a excellent bowling attack, one of the best bowling attacks in the world. ऐसा नहीं है कि किसी को भी मार रहा था उन्हें. And the
Mm.
confidence that he was oozing was just incredible, bro. Like I couldn't believe it, and it wasn't the easiest situations. You're still 300 down at that time, and you're batting the ashes on the line. To play with that much freedom and that much
Mm.
clarity in your thought is sensational, and I really enjoyed that innings. India
Yeah, good question. इंडिया
के
के बुमराह
बुमराह
का
के
बैकअप टेस्ट कौन है, एंड शमी का बैकअप कौन है? बैकअप
इंजर्ड है, प्रसिद्ध कृष्णा
कृष्णा,
आपके.
वो तो कब से इंजर्ड है यार, प्रसिद्ध कृष्णा को तो भूल जाओ. या हु डू यू एक्चुअली हैव? सिराज तो एक प्रॉपर बॉलर हो गया. शमी के अगर निकला तो अब आई डोंट नो हुज गोना बी देयर. इट्स इंटरेस्टिंग.
जेडी जेडी नैटकैट.
Nutcut is again, yeah, not on that level,
ये
but we'll
मुकेश
see.
कुमार का कैसी ने हर जगह घुस जा रहा है उन्हें.
Hmm.
कैसी ने उसका.
Mukesh Kumar is that Delhi Capitals bowler. Remember, we saw him live
Yeah, I
playing.
mean he was good, man. Yeah, he was
अच्छा
good
डाला
that
था.
day. Yeah,
But
that
I
game
would
he was
really
good.
like to see bowlers like Yudhvir Singh. Yudhvir Singh has good pace. I don't know if he'll be able to bowl Test cricket, but there's certain Navdeep Saini को please नको ला यार. Navdeep Saini का बहुत पिट चुका है already. I mean, we don't actually have like what is the next phase of Indian bowling, to be very frank, after Shami Bumrah. If Bumrah gets injured again, खुदा ना खास्ता क्या होने वाला है भाई? Like सिराज है, कब तक अकेले उन्हें 140 प्लस डालते रहेंगे? There's no one else right now. मे बी ये दिन आ जाएंगे कि भुवनेश्वर को रिटायरमेंट से निकाल के लाना पड़ेगा.
अब इंटरेस्टिंग रहेगा बिकॉज अब क्या है लाइक एट वन पॉइंट लाइक इंडिया वुड डोमिनेट वर्ल्ड कप्स, दिल कप टू द सेमीफाइनल, वहां जाके चोक होते थे. बट नाउ इन द राउंड रॉबिन आई एम एक्चुअली इंट्रिग्ड हाउ दे विल प्ले बिकॉज आई थिंक एवरी गेम विल बी अ बिट मोर प्रेशर. England, what if they score 400 against you? Then what's your approach?
Yeah.
Pakistan, what if they get you down for 5? What if South Africa get you down for 3-4 early in the power play like they did in the T20 World Cup? Then how
Mm.
do you react? I think India will have a tougher time in the group stages too. It's not just going to be in the knockouts
Yeah.
where they get the pressure. They won't be able to dominate games because I think, first of all, the bowling is a bit weaker compared to the 2019 World Cup, and also those players are still there who played in the last World Cup. So some of them have passed their peak too. So you have to take all that into consideration.
100%, and that's what it is. Like I don't know what they're going to do with that. Ibrahim was asking about the emerging Asia Cup yesterday. India beating Pakistan one sided. I think what I'd be worrying for Pakistan is the team in their next in line, and Indian players are nowhere near selection. Yeah, I think that's a very fair point. That the quality that we're seeing again, but these players haven't been the most effective. Even the circle, I guess, Sai Sudarshan is phenomenal. Abhishek Sharma, again, it's a different ball game when you come to international cricket.
It'll take time. They still have a
It'll
lot of
take
time on
time.
them.
Yeah, they have a
But
lot
they
of
need
time,
to
and
play more tournaments like these, more tours. They have to do that more.
now I don't know how it's going to work. If net run rate wise, I think India is still ahead of Pakistan. But if India lose to Bangladesh in the Emerging Cup and Sri Lanka beat Pakistan, I don't know what the exact thing is. But I think Pakistan have a chance or no to get into the final on Sunday.
They've only lost one game, right? Pakistan.
Yeah, Pakistan
Yeah.
lost one game. If India
Yeah.
lose to Bangladesh today, I think it's tomorrow, and then Sri Lanka lose to Pakistan, and Pakistan come
If Pakistan win the
equal.
remaining games, I think they can go in with
They will
India.
be equal on points. They'll be equal on points. Just the net run rate game again.
Mm.
And if,
Yeah.
if if Bangladesh beat India, then Bangladesh qualify for the final. So
Mm.
it's fun. It's a very interesting thing to see.
Waiting to
Waiting to
see
see.
Smith.
Yeah, man, I can't wait to see Smith perform. And he was looking good, but unfortunately he got out.
हाँ भाई, नंबर 3 भी लाना पड़ेगा टेस्ट में। गिल नहीं चल पाएगा 3 पे। सच अकेला नहीं भाई, अभी तो टाइम दो, उसको देखेंगे क्या होता। उन्हें बचपन से नंबर 3 खेल रहा। ही इज प्लेड नंबर 3 इन डोमेस्टिक क्रिकेट आल्सो ग्रोइंग अप। ही इज प्लेड नंबर 3। गिव हिम सम टाइम एंड देन वी विल सी व्हाट हैपेंस। इफ नॉट देन ही कैन
Yeah.
गो बैक टू ओपन द
कभी
बैटिंग
ना
बट
कभी तो देखो भाई, आई थिंक कभी ना कभी आपको विराट कोहली के बगैर इंडिया के बारे में सोचना पड़ेगा। आई थिंक
ऐसा
जब
भी हो
गिल
सकता है।
गिल की जरूरत आएगी
गिल
आपको।
माइट बिकम नंबर 4, ऐसा भी हो सकता है राइट, व्हेन विराट कोहली गोस, ऐसा भी हो सकता है।
Oh, I
इंडिया
think okay. So semi-final makes win. Okay, okay. So India have to beat Bangladesh, Pakistan have to beat Sri Lanka to make it into the final. Okay, that was a table completion thing, round robin basically. So that's going to be fun to see. Again, I think India Pakistan might come in the final, but Sri Lanka has been good as well
yeah.
throughout this tournament.
There's the MLC going on and GT20 starting today as well. We got Mississauga versus
Yes.
Brampton Derby, bruv. I'll
Yeah. It's a few what half an hour away from your place.
15-20 minutes. Yeah, it's right here. Brampton the Witch. I live in Mississauga, so like that team is playing. Mississauga is playing against Brampton, bruv.
मैन नाइट राइडर्स तो कहीं भी नहीं चल रहे ब्रो। लाइक ना 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 इंडिया में चल रहे हैं, ना यूएई में चल रहे हैं, ना इधर अबू धाबी नाइट राइडर्स भी बेकार थे। इन लोगों का किस्मत ही खराब हो गई है टीम की। आई
मेरे
थिंक
को वो लीग पसंद आ रहा है। MLC अच्छा दिख रहा है मेरे को।
क्राउड आ रही है ना, क्राउड आके जरा अच्छा दिख रहा,
Yeah.
देसी माहौल है एंड इट्स लाइक पीपल कमिंग इन।
अरे I saw like foreign people as well. लेके आ जा
या
रहे हैं उन लोगों को। फॉरेन मतलब लोकल वहाँ के टेक्सास पे ही।
या पूरों को पासपोर्ट दे दिया, खेलो भाई बोल के।
No, it's to come in the crowd. I'm saying like to come see the
अच्छा
match. Yeah.
Yeah, Shadab Khan also playing decent, whatever he's playing, but
Bro, what the
Matthew
first innings that he played was incredible, man.
60, yeah, the 61, yeah.
हारिस रऊफ भी खेल रहा अपना। आई थिंक फखर जमान यहाँ पे कनाडा में। दूसरा कौन है प्लेयर? ना बहुत है उधर MLC में। Stoina is also playing. Marcus, Aaron Finch, and these guys.
Yeah, but it's going to be interesting what Australia do tomorrow. I think they had to somewhere manage to get a couple of quick wickets. Incredible, अगर कोई भी यहाँ पे जो हमारा लाइव है अब follow up में देखने वाले, make sure that you guys are going to watch Zach Crawley's innings because it was spectacular. It was like a बहुत कड़क shot आते हैं. I can't even tell you the pace that he was hitting it with. Very good bat swing, and yeah, it's just been a phenomenal day for England. Tomorrow we look forward to day 3, where do we see some kind of dramatic change? Do we? Still interesting to see Mitchell Stark, how badly injured he is, and that will put more pressure on Mitchell Marsh and Cameron King to actually perform.
Yeah.
Yeah. क्या हुआ?
Zeb changed it to MFC.
MFC, yeah.
Mother.
Shady Bolt, yeah. Trent Bolt is also there as well, and that's a good team. I think it's what San Francisco.
भाई वो राशिद की टीम, राशिद पॉलर्ड मुंबई की जो टीम है,
New
इतना
York,
स्टैक
New
करके भी
York,
हारते
yeah,
हैं।
New York,
वो तो
yeah.
हेल ब्रो, स्टैक करके भी हारते हैं उन लोग। उसमें राशिद, रबाडा, बोल्ट, फिलाना ढिमका, निकोलस पूरन, पोलार्ड, क्या है वो
Yeah.
टीम? अनफेयर टीम है, फिर भी हार रहे हैं उन लोग।
Yeah. Did you see SA and New Zealand test series in clashing with the end of South Africa T20, which means South Africa could play a third string team for that series, risking losing a test series to New Zealand for the first time in history. Oh,
They risk
interesting.
the ODI status World
Yeah,
Cup.
they're really
They
for
risk
yeah,
it.
they're risk it, man. They're like baseball in these matters. Like they don't care. But again, that's a long way to think about it. It's all about Asia Cup, World Cup, अभी बहुत cricket है भाई, and I can't really
बहुत
wait
ज्यादा
for it.
क्रिकेट तो अभी भी बहुत है, but yeah, it's gonna get bigger and bigger now, the tournaments.
Yep, and yeah, we'll be here live mostly every day. Whenever we can make shorts, reels, and everything,
All
it
right.
will be coming to you. And yeah, go for
You,
the match, bro. Brampton versus Mississauga. क्या कर रहे हो यार घर पे बैठ के?
well, you tell me, did you like the Old Trafford crowd? You like
Yeah, it was good.
Manchester? Yeah.
Yeah, it's polished.
मैनचेस्टर इन है रूट की इनिंग्स 2016 वर्ल्ड कप साउथ अफ्रीका या 2022 विराट का तो मैं मेरे को दोनों बहुत पसंद आए थे मेरे को मैं यही इनिंग के बारे में बात कर रहा था याद है फैज कल जब हम
Yeah,
रूट के
yeah,
बारे
the
में बात कर रहे थे
100. Yeah.
ये इनिंग मेरे को बहुत पसंद था बट बिकॉज आई एम अ बिट बायस्ड पार्शियल विराट कोहली की मेरे को
ना ये विराट कोहली का circumstance was much more like end हो गया इंडिया समझे थे इंग्लैंड का थोड़ा बहुत I think if I'm not wrong
but they were
they
chasing
had
like
like batsmen.
230 bro like oh it was crazy but yeah like Virat Kohli
The
the thing
bowling
is
attack, if Shaheen was there and Virat still did that, then it would have been a different league. Shaheen was
it
there, right?
was
One of
Shine
the
was there,
yeah, Shaheen
bro.
was there.
He
He
hit
came back
Shine
from
for
his
like
ACL.
he
Yeah,
hit
yeah.
him for like
He
12 runs in the
yeah, he hit him. Yeah. So I
एक
think
मिड विकेट के ऊपर मारा था
yeah,
Shine.
with that bowling attack, I think yeah, 100% I would say Virat Kohli.
Yeah, and the situation, the pitch also wasn't the easiest. That was flatter. The other one.
90,000 Melbourne.
Yeah, we're going to
I'm
be a bit
something.
biased and say Virat Kohli, bro. Like that was for me. That's the best innings I've seen by an Indian cricketer under pressure. I would say another innings that is probably the best I've seen is Yuvraj Singh
Yuvraj
six
Singh.
sixes. Yeah, also the one against Australia.
Even the Australia, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Oh, that's the most underrated.
yeah.
Also,
So
Gautam Gambhir's 91, bhai, just because he said, okay, bhai, it's not about
no, no, those are
Dhoni.
all good innings and stuff. But like
Yeah.
things that I'll never like.
T20 situation, yeah.
Yeah,
In a T20 situation.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was just incredible batting. Kohli and Mohali also that was really good batting, but this one topped it because it was against Pakistan. Um, Mohammad Amir may play IPL. He has to change his passport for that,
Oh,
I think. Does
I
he
think
have
he's
a
got
British
a
passport?
British passport. Yeah, I think he might be moving
But
British
even
or
then, it's become difficult.
Canada.
There was a time
Canada,
when
maybe.
Azhar Mahmood played IPL,
Yeah,
even after
Punjab.
the ban. Yeah.
Yeah.
You saw him also, right? But I don't know if now they can. I wish Pakistani players can play IPL, bro. Like that
Man,
would
it'll be
be.
the most funnest thing, bro. Like I don't know, man. These domestic leagues again, like I'm telling you, there are too many now. Not that I'm saying IPL. Maybe they should just make a common one league system where all countries are, inculcate. I don't know, man. Every day, अब America है, Canada है, फिर Jamaica है. I mean Caribbean है, फिर कहीं ना कहीं कोई ना कल they'll probably have like they already have Dubai league. I was saying कल को Saudi league भी आ जाएंगे, कल को ये भी ले. कहाँ है कैलेंडर में 12 महीने है भाई कहाँ खेलेंगे?
Everyone is very concerned about this test cycle, bro. All I'm gonna say is, I know you support South Africa, so right now just keep your eyes on the World Cup. Don't worry about what's gonna happen in
South
December.
Africa beat India in December. The series won't matter to them as they would have to play West Indies and Bangladesh away from New Zealand and Sri
क्या
Lanka.
detail है भाई? I mean, this is sensational knowledge. I have to first respect that.
Yeah, 100%. And I think like the
But forget
WTC
it, bro.
final. Yeah, like we just lost the WTC final. Look at us. We're already talking about the Asia Cup. We want to forget it as much as possible.
Forget it, bro.
And
Now
South
talk about the
Africa,
World Cup,
and South
baby.
Africa again, like they're in a rebuilding stage. So I mean, they still have to find their main go-to people. They have to find the foundation, and then they have to build on that. So I think it is a long time. I'm not saying they might not make it a WTC final, but this time I feel Pakistan might make the WTC final.
Yeah, he's
Being
getting his
honest.
English passport, so then he will be able to play IPL, but it depends on him. अगर पाकिस्तान बॉलर आ गया आईपीएल में इंग्लैंड ऑस्ट्रेलिया न्यूजीलैंड साउथ अफ्रीका पूरा अनसोल्ड भी जा सकते हैं हाँ मतलब वो भी अच्छा पॉइंट
Bro, I would pay like if I was SRH, I would play like prime money, 18 crore just for Naseem Shah, bro. Khatam.
I'll pay 20 for Shaheen, bro. He gives me batting as well.
Batting as
He
well.
gives me
Yeah.
batting as
I'm not gonna pay for Haris Raw because Haris Raw after Virat Kohli's innings has not been the same.
well.
Bichara shoulder problem.
You know who would be my first two picks? It would be Shadab and Shaheen and then Shadab. They're my first two picks for Sunrisers.
Yeah,
But I know, of course, Bobby B hai, Rizwan hai, Lusov hai, but
I'd actually pick the PSL player that players
Chachu.
like Saim Ayub, Chachu the Bangladesh Premier League में भी फोड़ दिए थे. He was
Chach,
fantastic.
baby.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Faz that pretty much wraps it up. Tomorrow
Wraps
we'll
it up,
go
yeah.
again. Just the update on the India game. I think is the TS is still T or it's finished.
I think
Yeah, I
it's
just
still
started. T is
playing.
finished.
Yeah.
186 for 452.1. So we'll watch
Yeah,
that game.
Jadeja's playing. Yeah, Jadeja's playing right now, so
Ravi,
they
yeah.
didn't really care about Ishan Kishan's birthday. Baigan ko bol diye. But yeah, I think we'll join you guys tomorrow for
Thank
another
you.
episode of Chasing the Target. Everybody, please like, subscribe, and share, and keep looking forward to the reels and shorts, and keep subscribing. And see you tomorrow. Good night.